The Department of Defense and the Department of Veteran Affairs are some of the largest federal agencies we have in the government. But given the choice, which one should you work for? The DoD is slightly larger with 700,000 government workers, and the VA has 400,000 federal employees. First, we have to look at internal hiring opportunities. This is huge when you're considering getting into the government, because once you're in that agency, a hiring path opens up to you. It is the internal hire path. That means that when you're competing for an internal job, you don't have to worry about all the other government employees. You're just competing with people in your agency. The DoD currently has 4,700 jobs, but when you include sub-agencies like the Department of Army, Department of Air Force, Department of Navy, that number grows to over 10,000 jobs. The VA currently has 6,000 jobs. So when it comes to internal hiring opportunities, I'm going to give a point to DoD. Next, let's take a look at the rankings. Every year, federal employees across the government, they receive a survey. This survey has over 100 questions on it, and they answer questions about pay, teamwork, leadership, work-life balance, and the results of this survey can give people an idea on what that agency is like. The DoD ranked at number 8, with pay, customer service, and work-life balance ranking the highest. The VA is ranked at number 5, with leadership and pay ranking high. Due to these rankings, I'm going to give a point to the VA. Next, we have to look at remote work. Remote work has really exploded since the pandemic. It was happening before then, but especially during and after the pandemic. A lot of people want the freedom to either work at home or work wherever they want. So which one of these agencies has the most 100% remote work opportunities? DoD has 30 100% remote work jobs right now, and the VA has over 120 100% remote work jobs right now. For having more remote work jobs, I'm going to give the VA another point. Next, let's see which agency has the most high-paying jobs. We're talking about $150,000 a year, $175,000 a year. Are there GS-14, GS-15 positions available? A lot of agencies, you can only go up so high. Someone has to either retire or pass away for you to get the promotion. So you want to know, what is the ceiling in this agency? Currently, the DoD has 707 open jobs that pay $150,000 a year or more. And the VA has over 1,700 open jobs that pay $150,000 a year or more. To be fair, one of the reasons why there's so many more high-paying jobs in the VA is because of the VHA, the Veterans Health Administration. There's a lot of medical professionals, nurses, physician assistants, surgeons, doctors. They have a lot of them over there, and they can make $200,000, $300,000, even up to $400,000 a year. So it's a little imbalanced when you're doing a direct comparison. But still, I'm going to give another point to the VA. Listen, if you're interested in getting a federal government job, I would attend some of the virtual hiring events the government holds pretty much every week. If you want me to email a list to you, sign up to the free newsletter down below. All right, next, let's look at the growth trend. I want to focus on which agency is growing. That way we can see where future opportunities might present themselves, and also there might be higher morale because they're not stretched as thin. The VA has been growing steadily for the past 20 years, and it has almost grown 100%. The DoD hasn't grown as much, but it is steady over the last 20 years. So due to the growth and potential of further growth, I'm going to give another point to the VA. The VA is also pretty safe from a political perspective, because whether you're blue or red, Republican or Democrat, usually the veteran community is somewhat safe. Everyone's pro-veteran. Let's take care of our veterans. Very few people are going to commit political suicide and say, you know what, let's cut everything that has to do with veterans. Now with the DoD, slightly different story. There is more political pressure on cutting some of the DoD's budget because the DoD spends so much money, and it's under more criticism to cut the contracting, to cut the research and development. Do we really need a new jet? Do we need a super tank? Things like that are brought in. Now, with these agencies, both of them, they're very attractive to the military community, military veterans. Let's look at which agency has the most military veterans. The DoD is comprised with roughly 50% of military veterans, and the VA is at 36%. This could be a good or a bad thing. If you're a non-veteran, this is pretty much a bad thing because you're going to worry about competing with the veteran population. And you might feel if you don't get referred, you don't get interviewed, it could be because a veteran bumped you off the list. If you're a veteran, this could be a good thing because you're going to be joining pretty much like-minded individuals that understand that there's that culture there. Now, as far as myself, I have a military background, but I made it a point not to look at the DoD when I was leaving the military because I had been around the military culture so much. I was looking for something entirely different. I was looking for an agency that wasn't affiliated with the military. Also, it's not just federal government full-time employees. Both of these agencies love to leverage contractors. So in the DC area, you know there's over a dozen contracting companies. You have Booz & Allen, Leidos, all types. And a lot of people, they will adopt the strategy of getting a contracting job a little bit quicker, right? A lot quicker than a federal government job. And once they're there, they are supporting the federal government. They can start to network, get to know certain people before they apply to their federal government job. There's nothing wrong with this strategy. You don't have to do it, but some people do it. Overall, the score comes down to DoD with 1 point and the VA with 4 points. But keep in mind, everyone will have their own different and unique experience. How you enjoy your agency or how much you dislike your agency, it often comes down to your supervisor. What's their personality like? Are they the type of individual that loves to just stack work on you? Number 2 is your coworkers. Do you get along with your coworkers? Maybe you both like the same sporting events. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's like oil and water and you can't stand your coworkers. And then number 3 is the culture in the office. What is it like? Is everybody chippy and, happy in the morning? And maybe you're not a morning person. You don't like that. Maybe it's extra rigid. If you're working for DoD in one of their offices, you could have a lot of people using military lingo. And maybe you do not have a military background, so you feel a little isolated. You do not feel that you're part of the club. Consider this. The Social Security Administration is the worst large federal agency by rankings. I've met a couple of people in that agency that love their job. They like their job. The main reason is the freedom that they have. They have freedom in how they do their work, and they enjoy it. They look forward to going to work every day. So even in a horrible agency, you will still have bright spots. You can still have really great work assignments. So even though I gave DoD only 1 point, DoD is not a horrible agency. If you are considering getting a government job, but you don't know where to start, you don't know the steps, the federal hiring process is looking a little confusing for you. If you want to know the exact steps, the exact process, what is in store for you for the next 4 to 6 months, if you're interested in that, then I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.